We've announced the signing of the acquisition with Neustar. Definitely some work to be done before we close the acquisition, but certainly, extremely exciting time, and does impact parts of TransUnion that are beyond just my portfolio, right? Neustar contains a bunch of different pieces of business. What they think of as a risk business, we might call a fraud business. There's a communications aspect as well, which are all part of what we are acquiring. There's a security piece of Neustar, which we're not acquiring. But then certainly also there is the marketing solutions piece of the business, which is certainly a significant portion of the Neustar business and a great piece for us as well. And really, Andy, it is a continuation of the discussion you and I have had, many times now over the last couple of years, which is we feel strongly that the era of identity, identity underpinned marketing ecosystem, one that's focused on enabling personalized marketing at both the household and individual level, is really, really critical and only getting more complex. And we've been, through the acquisitions we've made and the organic investments we've made, been working hard to stitch together the right capabilities to make sure that we're one of the leading players in that ecosystem. And in getting to know the Neustar guys, we've seen a really good complementary set of capabilities, and really at the core mission, right? Really, really fit nicely. They have built up what they call their OneID technology platform, a great cloud-based, AI integrated, well-connected technology platform for resolving identity in real time. They've got clearly a market-leading suite of measurement solutions, very importantly focused on marketing performance measurement versus other types of measurement. And at the end of the day, we see the combined set of solution being a complete picture for what we know is our unique right to win in the industry, which is providing the consumer insights, i.e. identity, creating precision targeting rules and initiatives and making that actionable, and ultimately helping marketers or their media companies on behalf of marketers demonstrate performance against those initiatives, right? Proving out that an investment in more personalized, more precision marketing investments actually pays off. And listen, the world has only gotten more complex. Again, we know that the death of the cookie, the lack of mobile IDs, the increasing of streaming, the digitization of our worlds well beyond just the web world has made it so that the future ecosystem of identity is actually a really complex problem. And we've talked about that a lot. So this accelerates our roadmap in a major way, puts us, again, I think, in a really interesting position to be able to bring to market a set of solutions that provide the automation, the speed, the scale, right, that we hear the market looking for, all underpinned by that element of trust, which we've talked about a ton as well, because there is, of course, the need to ensure that you're managing privacy and consent, and really stitch all that together in a way that we think will be a key provider of solutions for this future personalized marketing world. Again, I want to be very, very clear, in our swim lane, both to marketers, media companies, and all the other technology companies in the middle. We think we are going to be very well positioned to have a leading role in that ecosystem.
So Matt, what about the perception or understanding of the buy side of brands and media agencies? This whole conversation of identity has been around. We've seen some successful entrants, of course, over the years, but there's a big focus on it. What do you think the challenges are in getting the industry to understand, adopt identity solutions, and how do you go about that in the marketplace?
Well, I think the core is, I think there's really two components of that, I think, that question. One is, I think the industry overall has done a very good job of adopting to a world that says more precision is better, right? Where possible, the more that you can understand and create micro segments to keep those refreshed constantly, to be live on, again, understanding, quote unquote, real-time behavior to impact marketing initiatives. I think everybody's there, or everybody, at least most everybody is there. And, we see that, I think, by the types of places that win a lot of marketing share and the types of technology companies that have been part of the ecosystem. I think what has been more difficult and is becoming more understood, but is still earlier, is the understanding of just what a complex problem understanding identity is in a world of multiple digital identity signals, multiple different touch points of consumers, and worlds where there are quote unquote walled gardens. Like there isn't just open access to all data, and there shouldn't be. And so I think what is happening, and something that we're certainly very conscious of, is how do we tell this story that demonstrate that to have the accurate underpinning of identity is a complex data science problem, right? And the more technology you put behind there, the more data sourcing rules and regulations you put behind there, the more data governance you put behind there, that all those things really create the ecosystem that allows you to build from the strong foundation. And an understanding of identity is a key foundation. You can't just stitch the, on last, you can't build a roof first, if you will. You've got to build a foundation, and identities at the foundation. And so, I think we'll spend more and more time helping all parts of the ecosystem understand just how much effort we've put in as TransUnion. And ultimately, once the deal closes, as we hope it will relatively soon, that the combined entity, both Neustar and TransUnion, all the effort we've put towards a solid foundation of identity, which is the infrastructure to build on top of. So, I think that strategically people are wanting to be there, and we just got to continue to educate that this is a complex topic, and that how you source the solutions to provide that intelligence is really important.
And Matt, I'm so looking forward to seeing you in Santa Monica in a few weeks at the Beat Retreat. And I know I'm grateful for your participation in the TransUnion, True Optics, the whole crew. I wanted to ask about the issue of interoperability between identity graphs. That's going to be a big topic and of conversation there, as it is now. And we hear a lot about it. What are your thoughts about interoperability between all these identity graphs, and where is that going?
Listen, nothing changes for us from the perspective of feeling that interoperability is critical. Listen, whether you're on the buy side or the sell side of this equation in our industry, being able to connect the dots across different marketing investments, be that a media buy, be that owned media, is critical. Like there's no doubt about that. This is what is necessary, and the independent from a buy or sell side equation view of identity, we think, is critical. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to both power, enhance, make better, right? Provide identity graphs to any individual player in that ecosystem, and ensure that where we are not the underpinning of someone's graph, to provide the tools that enable them to activate their graph in that interconnected, interoperable way. Listen, we're gonna do nothing but support that mission. It's key to providing the scale necessary. And so, yeah, listen, I don't think the topic of interoperability is actually all that controversial. I think the hard part is ensuring that the right partners, right players in the ecosystem have access to the right data signals necessary to enable high quality interoperability, right? That reduce data loss, that has high match rates. And again, we're going to end up back in the same conversation, which is, in order to have high match rates, to have high fidelity, to do precision marketing at scale, you've got to have a high quality, multi-key, three-dimensional view of identity. It's devices, it's individuals, it's households. And you need to have the technology infrastructure that does this via API in real time with true integrated algorithmic decision-making, because this is complex. And that's why we're making the investments we're making. That's why we're spending time on what we're spending time on, because we know this is both a complex problem and one critical to the industry. And our mission, again, is to make it easier for everyone else, because we're going to take on a lot of hard parts of that ecosystem.